One of the most incredible examples of a reptilian movie, though, is the Whoopi Goldberg bomb Theodore Rex.
It is more effective at telling the story of reptilians than any one of his books. Theodore Rex explains the draconian reptilian agenda incredibly well.
I was more of a carnosaur boy myself.
Yeah. Well, Theodore Rex is set in a future where literal talking dinosaurs lived among us and team up with police officers to solve murders.
Yeah.
Apparently, though, the reptilian plan went awry because Theodore Rex was so bad that it went straight to video.
They can't reliably make a hit.
It was the most expensive straight-to-video release ever until, and I just had to put this in here because I couldn't believe this shit. I never heard of this. It was until the 2012 animated movie Foodfight, which featured the Vlasic Stork, Chef Boyardee, Mrs. Butterworth, and a bunch of other food mascots in a fight against the mysterious Brand X. It took 10 years to make, cost $65 million, and starred Hilary Duff, Eva Longoria, Wayne Brady, Christopher Lloyd, Chris Kattan, and Charlie Sheen in the lead role as a dog dressed as Indiana Jones named Dex Dog Detective.
Hilary Duff, reptilian. Eva Longoria, reptilian. Wayne Brady, human. Christopher Lloyd, reptilian.
Yeah.
Chris Kattan, reptilian.
What?
Charlie
No
Sheen,
way.
human. Yeah, unfortunately, yes. Now, what I don't understand about
I don't know. I would say that Chris Kattan, if you look at Peepers, that is a man who understands the inner workings of a primate,
he does.
not a reptilian.
Wow.
Oh.
You know what? You're right. I'll take
Mr.
my...
Peepers.
Let me call that Hitman. Because I was sending him over. It is, again, now that movie, once Food Fight's going to be remade by Greta Gerwig now, and it'll win a Nobel Prize.
It would have been a better fighting game.
Like
that'd be
Marvel
sweet.
Capcom.
Oh, I watched the trailer. It's the worst animation I've ever. It's CGI animation. It's the worst animation I've ever seen in my entire life. It somehow just got. It was straight to video. The fucking
Wow, this is bad.
yeah. The poster is like
That's
Charlie
scary.
is like Charlie the tuna and the Vlasic stork and I think Mr. Twinkie in a shopping cart.
Wow. And if you remember, Indiana was the dog's name.
It's true.
But anyways, according to David Icke, children's TV shows and movies are rife with reptilians, from Ninja Turtles to Land of the Lost, which are all made to prepare children for the reptilian truths. UFO movies are much the same, except the opposite. These are psyops to convince us that reptilians aren't real, because if we believe in movies like Independence Day that the invasion is yet to come, we won't see the truth about the reptilians among us.
But I understand. I thought he's trying to inspire human beings to rebel against the Matrix itself. Then wouldn't that be a great message about this is our Independence Day?
Well, that came later after he changed his mind. Really, I can never decide whether or not the reptilians want humanity to know they exist.
It seems like
he keeps vacillating between one and the other.
They're like bad at that.
Yeah.
They're bad at hiding.
Very bad at hiding.
Yeah, because they also covered a bunch of they did the hieroglyphs with it.
Well, for him,
They've been telling everybody they're here ever since they were here.
except they're not.
But the thing is, they told like Greedo Muwa that they're here.
No,
And then they told all of the people in the secret schools that they were here.
they told some people.
And they told us by telling us.
If you want to know what the truth is, watch They Live. That's what David Icke says. They Live is the only movie that ever told the truth.
But it was a movie that was allowed to be made.
Yeah, a lot of people had to say yes for They Live to make it to the theaters.
But the thing is that I thought it was like
That the media was completely and totally and utterly controlled by reptilians?
reptilians that oftentimes have to take a week off during the holidays, and they actually have a lot of different fun holidays.
Yeah, and that's why they couldn't get an actor. They had to get Roddy Piper.
Yeah.
Who ended up being incredible.
Yes.
He is great in that movie.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah. I mean, I love the movie. Don't get me wrong, but he's not a good actor.
I don't know. Did you see him in Always Sunny?
No.
He's great in
He's
that.
incredible in that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
check that out.
No, you got to see him. But what David Icke is doing with the media argument, is training the reader's brain to filter everything through the lens of the reptilian agenda. Now, the impact of the biggest secret on both the world of conspiracy and the world where the rest of us live is alarmingly large. In a poll conducted in 2013, 4% of Americans believe that reptilians controlled the government. And while 4% doesn't sound like a lot,
That's a lot.
It's 12.5 million people.
Yeah.
But to be fair, this was also at a time when 13% of Americans believed that Barack Obama was the Antichrist. And they've all long since moved on from that idea when they realized that all Obama wanted to do was fucking produce nature shows and bad movies instead of fucking helping us.
Malia, you need to do something else. Nobody cares about your short film. Nobody cares. Nobody wants it. You're going to end up doing Shoots and Ladders, the movie, and it doesn't fucking matter. It's not going to do anything for anybody.
I think she could do whatever she likes.
I'm just saying.
She can do whatever she likes, of course, but Barack, we need some help.
We need some help, buddy.
Yeah, dude, go be the mayor of fucking Chicago or some shit.
Something else.
Yeah, something, dude. Go be the governor of Hawaii.
But on the other hand, considering how there are factions of QAnon who truly believe that Donald Trump actively battles reptilians, I'd imagine that the number of Americans who believe in David Icke is now considerably higher than it was 10 years ago.
The thing is, Donald Trump is on his shit list too.
Yeah.
Is he?
He's on David Icke's shit. Yeah,
But
David Icke doesn't like Donald Trump. He doesn't like any American, really.
But the thing is about David Icke's reptilian idea, it is far bigger than David Icke.
Oh, yes.
Like, that's the thing, is that
the idea went because he keyed into something that there is something ancient about it. And
Yeah.
it's not the actual literal truth. It is about people's distrust of inherently. Ever since it became the game started with the priests were the only people who could read the Bibles, and that was the only way we got the information. It's like we've always distrusted what was coming from up top, and he's using that in a gamified, and what we've been talking about, in a gamified way, in a new way, in a way that like makes you want to go and do something about it.
Yeah, but the thing is that the Reptilians and David Icke are now two separate entities.
Reptilians are now just going off on their own.
Yeah, the biggest secret opened up a fucking Pandora's box that no matter what David Icke says, no matter what he said after 1999, like that shit just got embedded into the human consciousness, and it ain't going away anytime soon.
No.
Now, since The Biggest Secret was released in 1999, Icke has published a further 15 books with titles like Human Race, Get Off Your Knees.
Stop sucking dick.
The Lion Sleeps No More. Remember Who You Are. Remember, quote-unquote, where you are and where you, quote-unquote, come from.
They got to give that book.
Is that one title?
Yeah, and they got to give that book to Joe Biden. Come on, not feeling good.
There's also The Phantom Self and How to Find the Real One.
Yep.
Okay.
And, of course, Perceptions of a Renegade Mind. Now, in these books, David Icke doesn't necessarily walk back the reptilian agenda, but he does amend it more and more with each release to make it more palatable. By 2003, in his book Tales from the Time Loop, Icke changed his view and wrote that what he thought was the Reptilian Brotherhood was actually the Illuminati all along.
Aren't they reptile-like?
Aren't they?
Aren't they? They got the flabby bodies. Oh, yeah, he's a bit of a politician, isn't he? Doesn't know how to do that, or maybe he's not working out like he maybe needs to, right? Got a bit of a flabby belly. Oh, you're thinking you want her in there? Oh, must be something else then. You might be right. You might be wrong there. But also, you're taking it too serious, but you're also not taking it serious enough.
God, it is so hard not to hit you when you do that.
Well, this knowledge, Icke wrote, came from an ayahuasca trip he had in Brazil after a telepathic voice contacted him and his then-wife Pamela while they were in Arizona. He and Pamela, by the way, divorced a couple of years later, and Pamela took most of David Icke's money.
Which shouldn't have bothered him because he said that all money's fake.
That's right.
It shouldn't have bothered him, but it seems that a lot of the things that bother him are what he says then don't exist. Because that was also, there was a new thing, because he does have bad rheumatoid arthritis.
Yeah.
Until he was on this show, and he was talking about how he's like, because your mind is what makes it up, right? Because would you believe, power of the mind. You tell me it's not good, I'll tell you it's good. Would you believe I used to be 4'5" tall?
We all were.
Yep.
At one point, I was 4'5".
No, I was a full adult. But you know, me did. Me use my thinking bean. Me thought myself big.
Cool.
But he says he's thinking that he doesn't have rheumatoid arthritis anymore. He's going to think that he doesn't have it.
Oh, he's going to think it away.
Yeah.
That's nice.
It's not working.
No, it won't work.
Those hands look like gnarled vines.
Mm-hmm. But concerning the ayahuasca trip, he said that his first feelings after he drank the substance were waves of pent-up frustration going back to the days of mass ridicule when he was so publicly humiliated on The Wogan Show in 1991.
Which he compares to being Jesus Christ,
Yes.
being flayed on the cross, and that was his cross to bear. That's what he does for us. He accepts ridicule for us.
But then the trip turned positive, with the love and the infinite possibilities and the heart chakras and such and such. Icke then was told that the Matrix was real, in the sense that we're all stuck in a sort of mind prison.
Okay.
But the Matrix was also a whirlpool, while the infinite oneness, which is what we should all be aiming for, is a river.
I don't know,
The,
buddy.
the titular time loop, Icke wrote, is when our consciousness gets stuck in the whirlpool, trapping us in an endless cycle of illusions. Again, nothing is real except what we perceive. Time is an illusion. Fear is the mind killer, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, sure, to make the hologram a bit of the thickety thick, right? I could put salt and pepper. I could take a little bit of salt and pepper. I could put on my fish and chips there, my chompers. Eating the fish and chips seems to be right there, but I'll tell you what, it's not. Nothing is. You're not there. I'm not there. My ex-wife's a bitch, though. That's real as fuck. I'll tell you what for certain.
Yeah. Icke then heard the powerful voice of a woman who told him that reptilians weren't actually physically real, but holographic projections like the agents in the movie The Matrix.
And there's no way that wasn't his PR person from his publishing company.
Icke then his own publishing company, you
Yep.
mean? Yeah. Icke then starts using an incredibly annoying repeating device, writing something pithy, then following it with the word illusion, bolded in all caps and spelled with 5 U's. An example, quote,
Do you think that's the Earth you're lying on now? Illusion.
I mean, I kind of like that.
It is fun. It is fun. Illusion.
I wish that's what fucking Copperfield did.
Now, as far as what we can do to break ourselves free from reptilian control, we can let go of our fear of what other people think of us. Especially if it differs from the norm.
Because, people say, oh, what's normal? What's normal to you is different from what's normal to me. Some people, they like a bit of peanut butter. Some people like a peanut butter. They put on a bit of bread. They call it a sandwich. For me, I call it a pile of shit. Ate it. Ate peanut butter.
Most Brits don't like peanut butter.
I ate it. I ate the flavour profile. Too saccharine sweet. I like a bit of that.
You do.
Yeah, I like to eat a golf ball for breakfast. Yeah, I'll do whatever I want.
We also need to allow others to do the same and respect everyone's free will. That means don't push reptilians too hard on your brother-in-law. Make him do the work. But the most important thing you can do to defeat the reptilians is to heal your vibrational energies, which can, of course, only be accomplished by purchasing additional David Icke books and lectures.
Hey, don't discount the app. He's got a new app
Yeah.
that he was doing because he just makes shit up.